Hello. Okay guys, so I am back with another video. I am trying to push them out, it's been a little busy, been just a little busy. Been at school and everything, but this is kind of what I wanted to talk about. Was just being in school and sharing my grad school testimony. And it's been really on my heart to kind of share just what God did for me and my life, and how he just really just showed up. And this is really just to show like God can move in your life, like no matter how big the situation is, how small, whatever it is, like just trust him. So I'm gonna just get into it. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. So let's see, when I was living in San Diego, California, I was working at a psychiatric hospital as an intake coordinator there, and I was really feeling it on my heart to go back to school because I'd already had my bachelor's in psychology. And I was just like, okay, because at that time I was like, I'm not going back to school. I don't want to go back to school. I'm gonna just work, or I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna change careers, because I was just like, where, like, I gotta go through all this schooling to make a good just a good sustainable living, whatever. But anyway, that was just my own frustration. But I really felt it placed on my heart to go back to school, and I felt really encouraged to do so, because where I was working at, I was working with people who was getting their masters while they was working, people who had their doctorates already, and I was getting really encouraged to go back to school. And so I really felt like it was time. And I felt like God was telling me like it's time to go back to school. And I was like, okay. So one of my coworkers was really encouraged me to apply to this specific school that they had went to. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do it, maybe this will be a good fit for me. And so I went ahead and I applied for the school, and I got everything and I did everything I was supposed to do. But mind you, my GPA from undergrad was not good. It was like a 2 point something. My undergrad GPA wasn't good. And it wasn't because I wasn't smart, it was just because I just didn't care like I should have cared. I didn't put in the time, the effort as much as I should. I was going through a lot at the time. But anyway, that's another story. So I was living there, and I was trying to apply, did all the stuff. So I applied, and then I got an email that was like, you didn't get in. And I was like, oh, okay. So I felt bad. I think I cried, and I was just like, you know what, whatever. But then about a week or so later, they were like, oh, we want you to still come in for that grad school interview. Like, they reviewed my stuff again and wanted me in for an interview. And I was like, okay. And so I got excited, and I was like, all right, cool. And I was super nervous. But I go to the interview, and I'm freaking out. Like, my hands are sweaty. I'm so nervous. When they asked me a question, I'm like, it's like words that come out of my mouth. Don't nobody understand what I'm saying. I didn't understand. It was just jumbled up. And it was a group interview too, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I was so nervous. And then they had like a one-on-one interview, and it was better. I felt more comfortable in that situation. But after that, we looked at the campus, and it was okay. It wasn't really just like a campus. It was like, when you think of a campus, like a school campus, it didn't look like that. It was like I don't know, just, it wasn't like where I went to for undergrad. I'm gonna just say that. But it was very expensive. It was like beyond expensive. It was about $200 some thousand dollars or something like that. It was expensive. Again, it's California, and it was for a doctor program, and I hear doctor programs are really expensive. So, and I was like, okay, I guess. But I was excited. I thought, well, maybe I'll get in, but I didn't. I still didn't get in after that. And I thought, maybe I was so nervous, and that's probably why, my GPA was not good. And I just thought, well, no schools are really going to want me because my GPA sucks. And I was like, am I going to have to go back and retake classes again from undergrad, just to get into grad school and stuff? But I was like, I'm not going to do that. So I gave up. I was just like, all right, well, I guess God, you want me to go to school. You placed it on my heart to do all this. I didn't get in. I don't understand. And then, I'm going to tell this part of the story, but I'm going to bring it back in later because it's important. So, it's going to sound kind of random. But anyway, I'm getting my hair done at the salon, and I'm overhearing a conversation with another client and another stylist, and there's like the client, you know, she's talking about you know, where she's from and stuff like that in different places, and I was like, wait a minute, she was talking about stuff that, you know, is like from Memphis, because I was like, oh, I'm from Memphis. So you know, I was like, oh, hey, you know, like I remember, I think I had my Memphis t-shirt on and all of that, and I was like, yeah, I'm from Memphis too. And so, you know, like being in San Diego and there's two Memphis people in the salon at the same time and they meet, it's like home, you know what I'm saying? And so it was very like, oh my goodness. And so she gave me her card. She's like, this is an old card, but I'm gonna give it to you and stuff. You can text me. And so, you know, I ended up texting her and stuff. I didn't really pay much attention to what was on the card, but this is just gonna come back later in the story. And so what ends up happening after that is, you know, I'm in therapy because, you know, I believe in that, obviously. And you know, me and my therapist were just talking about, you know, how I felt, you know, not getting in and all this stuff, and I was like, getting on down, and she really encouraged me to keep trying, because she was just like, you're not always going to get into every place you apply to, and you know, you just don't know, don't give up though. That was pretty much what she was telling me to do. And I felt a bit more encouraged. And then right around that time, and my husband was military at the time, and we was about to move to Chicago. She was about to get stationed up there, and I was like, okay. And so I didn't really want to go because I was like, it's cold, and I was like, I don't want to go there, blah blah. But I wanted to stay in San Diego, but that didn't work out. But anyway, and you know, she was talking to me about, you know, there's schools there, because she had looked at schools when she was doing her doctorate and everything, and I really admired her. I was really inspired by her, because I really felt like she was, you know, she inspired me to really be a therapist, you know, all over again, because the way she worked with me was so impactful for me at the time, and I wanted to be able to give that to other people. And so you know, she named off a couple schools in the area of Chicago, and she was like, you know, Northwestern, all this stuff. And I was like, okay. Didn't know what Northwestern was, had never heard of it before, didn't know nothing about it. And so I was like, all right. So, you know, we getting ready to move. It's the end of the year, and then I apply. I said, all right, I'm gonna start doing my application. And so I do my grad school application for Northwestern, and then I ended up seeing one of my friends, and I tell them about it, and they're like, oh, who's from that area, the Chicago area, and they're like, oh yeah, Northwestern's like almost like a top Ivy League school. And I was like, wait, almost. I was like, wait, what? Huh? I was like, okay, then there's no way I'm not getting in. Then there's just no way I'm not getting in. I was like, I didn't get into this other school that wasn't an Ivy League or close to an Ivy League. How am I gonna get into this school? I was like, there's no way. My GPA was not that great. I was like, nope. And at the time I was thinking, I'm like, I'm not that smart. That's what my mind was at. And I was like, oh my gosh. And here's the thing about my therapist is that if she did not tell me that, and she knew not to, because she knew that I would not have applied, and God knew that I would not have applied had I known what Northwestern was, had I really deep dived, researched into it. I did not know that it had, you know, such a prestige about it. I had no idea. So, but it was too late. My application was already in, and I was just like, okay, God, you know, this is all in your hands, because I was like, I don't know what you want me to do here. And not too long after that, I get an email, and it was like, that moves on to the grad school interview process. And I was like, what? I was like, oh my gosh. And so I was like super nervous again. I was like, God, you know, I got to this stage before and I didn't make it, so God, like, please help me. But then he reminded me, he was like, I showed you what that was like for a reason. Right? Like, now you know what it's like to be in a grad school interview. Like, you know exactly what that's like. So now you can be better prepared. And so I was like, okay, so I had this time to actually prepare and actually be like, okay, when they ask a question, how am I gonna answer? What are they looking for? And so, you know, I didn't even talk to my therapist about it, you know, just like, hey, like, what's it like? And she tremendously helped me with that. And God just places people in your life sometimes just to help elevate you and to help you get to where he wants you to be, you know. And you know, my professor still did a recommendation. Well, mind you, my professor from the other school, she was just like, when I was applying, she was like, I'm not really feeling the school. You know, she's like, I don't know about the school, but I'm gonna write you a letter anyway if you really want me to. And I was like, yeah, you know, please, you know, blah, blah. And she still did it. But, you know, to me, I was like, oh, that's interesting, you know. But for this school, you know, she didn't say nothing like that. For Northwestern, she, you know, she still wrote me a letter of recommendation. This is my professor from undergrad. Okay, and she's still rocking with me today. So it's just like, y'all, God is good. God is just good. Okay, so you know, I'm getting ready for the grad school interview. I do it. I'm still nervous, but I feel a lot more confident and I feel a lot more prepared. And so you know, I wait, I pray, and I'm like, God, you know, if this is what you want me to do. And mind you, during this time, you know, we just moved, right? So I had to leave my job. I had to leave my coworkers, my friends, my apartment that I love, everything. And then, mind you, when we first got up there, I lost my car, too. We got into an accident, and my car got totaled, and I lost it. So at this time, and it's cold, it's snowing, and I was not in a good way, right? And I was just like, God, you know, I'm on my knees, and I'm like, I'm in the closet, and I'm just like, God, like, what is my purpose? What do you want me to do? I have no clue. I have everything that maybe my identity was in is gone. You know, my lifestyle is gone, and everything that I have no direction right now. I don't know what you want me to do with my life. I have no clue. And that's when he was leading me and was like, it's okay, just trust me in what I'm doing right now. And this is to say, God is working behind the scenes on your behalf, even when you don't see it. Even when stuff look like it ain't nothing happening. God is working on your behalf. He is. And so, anyway, so you know, I'm waiting. I'm praying. I'm like, God, if this is what you want, then okay, you know. And so, next thing I know, I get an acceptance letter from Northwestern, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm crying. I'm just thanking God. I was just so grateful because I was like, how? I mean, I was sitting there like, how? I was like, my GPA wasn't that good. I don't know, but they still wanted me. And I was like, how, God? And so, and I still felt unsure about it. I was like, I don't know, like, because I was like, I'm like, I'm not that smart. Like, that was still that thinking. And I was like, I'm not that smart. I don't know why, God. So I'm freaking out. I'm overwhelmed. And so I'm looking at other schools that are like way cheaper, way just more common, you know, probably way easier, you know, to get into. And I'm like, well, maybe I should go to this school. Maybe I should go here and stuff like that. I don't know. And God was just like, just calm down. You know, just trust me. And so, but I'm calling these schools. I'm trying to figure out, you know, what their program is like. And mind you, I applied for a master's program for Northwestern. I was looking at master's programs this time. And so I ended up going home to visit Memphis for a little bit to see my parents. And I heard God tell me, he's like, when you get back, clean your table off. I was like, okay. So I get back and I start cleaning my table because, you know, I got papers and all this stuff on there. And I find this card. And it's the same card that I got from the girl from the salon. Like, by this time it'd been probably a year or more. And the card was a Northwestern card. And I had not noticed that or paid attention to that when I got the card, when she gave it to me. Didn't even realize it. But that was the card. And I was like, what are the odds? I mean, seriously, right? And that to me was confirmation from God. Like, this is exactly where you're supposed to be. I mean, what are the odds? I mean, that I just so happen to be at the salon the same time that this girl is talking about Memphis, for me to hear her talking about Memphis and be like, hey, she gives me this card. It's a Northwestern card. At the time I'm applying to Northwestern and I'm unsure about what to do. And at the right time I find this card and I say, oh my goodness. It blows my mind every time I think about it. It really blows my mind because I'm like, what? What, God? I Oh, he knows what we need. He knows it every single time. So anyway, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my goodness. And that was the piece that I needed. It was like, God knew I needed that big, shock. Just that, ooh. So I go with it. I say, okay, God, I trust you. So I go, I start classes, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I know I'm full time, and I'm like, all right, God, I'm here. And when I tell you, God was with me every single class, every single paper, every single exam, every single thing. And by the time I got done with classes, I graduated with a 3.8 GPA out of a 4. And, my writing improved. It was so much. And here I was thinking that I wasn't that smart. Oh, I'm getting emotional. Because God, Lord, there I was thinking that. But God showed me, he was like, no, like when you let the Holy Spirit move through you, no matter what it is, things will come out and unleash and work for you. I can't even explain it. Like when I look back on some of my papers and I'll be like, I wrote that. Like God increased my confidence in my writing. He increased my confidence in just being an academic student and having discipline and staying a course, right? And here's the thing about starting when I did, and finishing when I did too, is just, I just graduated in December. And there was a point in time when I was going through so much. During grad school. It was ridiculous how much I went through. And I had a point where I was like, God, I need to I need to take a break or something like that. But God said, no, it's not. Don't do that. Had I just been 1 quarter off, I would not have been able to present my capstone project that I did. And I would not have been able to, really just finish school when I wanted to and be able to be working when I wanted to. And God knew. He was like, you need to wrap this up at this time. And I did. And I finished school. And I can say right now, I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm a nationally certified counselor. And I have my master's from Northwestern University. Because God, right? And this was important to me. God led me to my purpose. Mind you, remember when I was praying? Remember when I was praying and I was like, God, what's my purpose? What do you want me to do? And it felt like I lost almost everything. It felt that way. All these other things. But God was like, when I remove things from you, I'll restore it back. It wasn't nothing. It was nothing for God to show me what my purpose was and what I was supposed to do. And he placed me in a position where now I can walk in my purpose, and I can do many more things because I listened to God and I trusted him. And I'm telling you, whatever it is you're dealing with right now, whatever it is that you're experiencing right now, just trust God. Let him guide you. Let him lead you. Don't doubt, and just trust. And if you need confirmation, ask him for it, and he'll give it to you. I asked God for confirmation, and he gave it to me. He talked to me, he led me, he showed me everything I needed to know to let me know that I was on the right path, because I didn't want to go somewhere and do something that I just wanted to do. I wanted to do something that made sure that God wanted me to do it too, right? And he let me know, yes, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Exactly where you're supposed to be. And no matter what I went through, God made sure he saw me through above and beyond. And he will do the same thing for you. If you just lean on him, if you just trust him, if you just call on him, he will answer you. Y'all don't understand. And this is more than just grad school. God has moved all through my life, just in so many different areas. And I get emotional when I talk about God, because I'm in awe of him. I'm in awe, and I'm in awe of his love, and I'm in awe of his just unfailing love. It is just, y'all, get to know him. Get to know him. You'll feel this way of this gratitude, this thankfulness, this this feeling of just, oh my goodness, you know, he's just really good, guys. And just let Jesus into your life. Open your hearts, open your ears, you know, and just let God move. It's very simple. It's not an easy walk, but it's a very simple choice to make. So this is my testimony of how God really just showed me where I need to be for grad school. And whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's a school, whether it's a job, whether it's just wherever you have a location, whatever God is telling you to do, I encourage you to walk in obedience, and I encourage you to trust him, and I encourage you to just let him move you on, because he knows what you need more than you do. Okay? All right, that is it. And I'm really happy that I got to share this with you guys. Okay? Bye.